Good morning, student. How are you? Once again, I'm here with this lesson 3, Glimpses of the Past. Now, children, in this chapter, in fact, this is a lesson which is related with a picture story. That means the dialogues you will find it in the speech bubbles. So in this chapter, in this pictorial picture story, you will read what happened in India between 1757 to 1857. And it recalls, actually it recalls the story of freedom through pictures. It also explained the idea that led to the first war of independence in 1857. We also know in that how Britishers came to have trade in India in the form of the English East India Company. So the Britishers came as a traders. They took advantage of the disunity which we were having between kings and the princes of the Indian state. They also started following the policy of divide and rule, and in this way that traders which had come to India, they had started ruling our country. Okay, so many far-sighted rulers were there, like brave Tipu Sultan, Rani Lakshmi Bai, but one by one they died in fighting. And a day has come when the whole India was under British Empire. The rules and regulation was British followed. How our trade got deteriorated and how they had raised their trade, this is also explained in the lesson. So I'm going to start explaining this picture story, which is in the form of the speech is in the form of a speech bubble. Okay, speech bubble means you can see the dialogue written in the box and the arrow is there towards a person, which means that it is that person is speaking that dialogue. So let's start. Now let me enlarge this one so that we can read. Yes. Now children, you can see the heading written here, the company's conquest 1757 and between 1757 and 1849. That means the whole company had won India in 1757 and 1849. The whole company conquered Indian territories. With its superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century in India. Now children, you can see the map of India. You can see the map of India. See the whole map of India in 1765. Okay, and only this part, which is you can see in the pink part, see this one, this part I can see only this much part was under British rule. That means only this much were the British territory in India. And you can see 1765 they were having a superior weapon, the weapons of diplomacy. That British East India Company started extending its power in the 18th century. Now children, the princes of India, they were first of all, there was disunity in India, but at the same time the princes were short-sighted. Short-sighted means they were not able to think about the future. Indian princes were short-sighted. Now you can see the bubble speech has started here. What the prince is telling, that upstart Raja Bah called the English merchant. They will help me to defeat him. Now children, one of the person, okay, upstart means vain. ego. So he is telling that egoist person Raja Ba, he had called the English merchant, and these merchant will help me. No, now children, there is a fight between the prince, okay, and there was a fight between an egoist person Raja Ba. So the prince, as you can see, and I think he's a Mughal prince. From the dress we can see his look as if it is a Mughal prince of the Mughal kingdom. So he is telling that Raja Ba has upstart. Upstart means he is very egoistic, and he is in full of vain. So and I'm going to defeat him by calling English merchant. They will help me in fighting them, and in this way, with their modern weapons, we can defeat him. The people had no peace due to such constant fight. Now children, the people of India, they were not having any peace. The financial condition was getting bad to worse. Every time there was a fighting, and every time many soldiers has to lose their lives. So there was no peace in our country. Now children, so the rivalry between Raja Ba and you can see this Mughal emperor, what happened when they started fighting. You can see an officer, British officer is there in the horse, and what he's telling, the rivalries helped the East India Company, and it could these princes one by one. He's telling it's good that they are not having unity. It is good that they are having rivalries means enmity. Rivalries means enmity, and it is helping the East India Company. That means that companies belong to the Britishers, that it can easily subdue. Subdue means overpower. So rivalries means enmity, and subdue means overpower. So he's telling it can subdue, overpower our Indian prince one by one. A far-swing ruler like the brave Tipu of Mysore fought the British till he died fighting. Now children, a brave king was there, Tipu Sultan, and he was a far-sighted person, that he knew that what will happen if the king will not have unity, and if they will fight like that, so what would be the condition of India would be. So he started fighting, he fought the British, but bad luck, he died in the fighting. Thank God there is peace in the country now, no more wars and no looting by thugs. Now children, when the Britishers helped to use the kings, the people used to be satisfied for some time. Okay, and children, there were many Indians who reacted in different way. You can see one of the Indian is telling here, it's a bubble speech. Thank God there is peace in the country now, no more wars and no looting by thugs. Now it's telling now there will be no war and no looting in our country. It is God who sent the Britishers. Now children, see the narrow-mindedness of the people. He is telling it is a God who had sent the Britishers. Now other person is saying our destiny is linked with that. That means our destiny is linked with them. So see how we are so foolish that we are making the Britishers great by thinking all this negative thoughts. Now children, this is the one group who is with the Britishers. Okay, this group, those who is telling thank God there is peace in the country now, no more wars and no looting. And the other is telling it is God who sent the Britishers. The third is telling our destiny is in our own hand, is linked with British. So this is one group who are with the Britishers. Now children, there are many people who did not like Britishers. The white man has killed or dethroned our king. Now one intelligent wise man is telling, in fact this is a white man, they have killed our king, or they have dethroned. That means they have thrown out from the throne the Indian king. So I did not like that why white men are interfering with the kings. Now the other fellow said, some kings were not good, but after all they were of this land. Though I know that many kings are not good, but after all they were Indian king. Why they should be defeated by the Britishers? Now we have become slaves of foreigners. Now he's telling ki this is the time that now we have lost our actual freedom and we have become the slave of the foreigners. So you can see there now there are two groups of people. One is supporting the Britishers, one is thinking that they are like that they are lucky that they are there with them, the other is really hating them and they are against them. Now children, British rule 1765 to 1836. Now what happened during this period in India? So children, in the first page we have seen that Britishers, they were conquering one state after another state. When our kings were not very much far sighted, they were calling for help and instead they were conquering. It was the Britishers who were ruling them. It was not the king who were ruling them. Just to make their ego satisfied, they were taking help from the British people. And two group of people were there. One was supporters of the Britishers and one was not supporting the Britishers. Okay, so religious leaders preached idea like untouchability and child marriage. Now children, they were religious leaders also were there, and they had different ideas, like they were helping the India to remove the various superstitious and some bad religion practice was to be there, so they wanted to remove, so like untouchability and child marriage. So some of the religious leader came forward to preach the people and remove all this social evil of our country. Now he is telling, and the sea loses his religion. Now children, one people prays that if anybody will cross that sea, he or she will lose the religion. That means he will forget about his religion. There they are falling and the religion. All the misery in the world is due to women. Now children, there were many people at that time, many social evils were there, like he is telling all the misery is there, this is due to women only. The truth was that Indian had lost self-respect. The British scorned them. Now children, the truth was that our country people, they have lost all this their self-respect. They have become the slaves under British rule. Instead of fighting, they behave slaves. The British scorned them. And children, now the Britishers who wanted earlier, it seemed they were having a helping hands towards India. Now the British scorned them. Scorn means they started hating Indian people. Now so let's see how a man is folding his hand and bent his head. He is standing and two British officers are sitting and talking. What they are talking? The natives are unworthy of trust, incapable of honesty. Now he is telling the native, that means the local Indian people, they are unworthy of trust. They are not worth. They are not worthy to be trusted. And secondly, they are incapable of their honesty. True, you honor, but I am honest. Now children, see what game this Indian man is playing. He's telling, yes, true. Instead of raising his voice against them, he's telling, true, you honor, but I am honest. So you can see that we were foolish and they took advantage of our foolishness, and they were making use of our Indian people. They started taking our money in the form of taxes. Being merchants, the British wanted quick profits. Their heavy taxes forced farmers to abandon their fields. Now children, they came as a merchant here in India, and now when they saw disunity is there, they started conquering the whole state, and now they have implied heavy taxes on farmers. And if the farmers were not able to pay the taxes, they used to tell that you have to leave your field and that field will belong to me. Now that field they have that land or field they used to give to some other farmers, and they used to take that, okay, you could take this land, you can take the cereals which you will grow, but that profit I want in the form of taxes. So such were the cleverness which were destroying our countrymen, and our people were so foolish that they were coming under the influence of British. But you men are taking all my crop. Now children, when they had to take some crop, but they used to take all the crop, you are still in arrears. If you don't pay next week, I will send you to jail. Now children, instead of stopping and giving him some crops to eat, he is telling you are still in arrears. Arrears means due debt. Okay, and if you will not pay, I will send you to jail. Now children, in this way they were not making the people scared to pay the taxes. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profit. Now children, they were not satisfied with this also. They started other methods so that they can take more and more money, more and more profits from our poor people of India. The good manufactured in England should not have any import duty when brought into India. Now children, earlier the Indian used to impose heavy duty on the goods which was brought from England to India, and this way the Indian people used to have trade benefit. But now see how cunning this officer is. He's given an order: the good manufactured in England should not have any import duty when brought into India. Now they will not pay even a single pie, and they will bring their goods in India. A good idea. The East India Company's law began to cripple Indian industries, and children, they made such a law that our own industries had started crippling. Okay, our own industries had started crippling. That means they started destroying our industries and our trade. Inevitably, famines followed between 1822 and 1836. 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. Children, the worst thing had happened. Okay, that famine was there, was between 1822 and 1836. 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. Many people died of starvation. The British policies ruined the export artisan and their business. Now children, they have made our policy so weak that all the export artisan and their businessmen, they started their trade started ruining. Ruin means to spoil. Now the fourth part, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He was again a social reformer and was respected by the people of India. Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal. Now children, he was a Bengali fellow. He understood what was wrong with the country. Now he knew, when he started thinking, he came to know that the situation of the country is not good. The Britishers have spoiled Indian trade, Indian business, and the artisans are dying, the businessmen are dying. In fact, they are starving, and these people, they are busy in making profits. So he is telling that something should be done so that our trade should not get spoiled. So he was a wise person. Let's see what he did. Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstition and have been ruining us. Now children, he knew that if he will direct complaint about the Britishers, he would be arrested any moments. So he started molding the brainwashing the people way in different way. He started telling that we have a rich ancient culture and that should not be spoiled, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstition and which have been ruining us. He told his wife Vuma, cows are of different color, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinion, but the essence of every religion is the same. So sometimes his wife used to get worried. Okay, she used to feel that her husband can be killed, can be arrested any moment. So he told the motto of all the religious leaders are the same. Cows are of different color, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every essence means the smell of every religion is the same. So such were the wonderful ideas and the speech he used to say. He was attracted by science and modern knowledge. Now children, he know that Indians are they are having very old ideas, and they are very superstitious, and whatever was told to them they used to believe. That's why the Britishers are taking advantage of them. Now he was attracted by science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. He started newspaper, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. He started newspaper, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. Now children, he started a newspaper, but the British were cunning. They suspected that this man can mold the ideas of the people, that he can change the ideas of the people. So very cleverly the Britishers stopped his newspaper from publishing them in 1823. They stopped. He crossed the sea and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them. Now children, when it was too much and the people were under the influence of British, so he thought the Britishers, how they have become so powerful. Now he went to their country. We accept you as a rulers, and you must accept us as subject, but you must remember the responsibility of a ruler owes to his subject. Okay, now when he went there, he came to know that Britishers are really very powerful, and the whole country have come under their influence. Now he was helpless. He know alone he cannot do anything. Only thing he requested them, okay, we accept you as our rulers, and you must accept us as our subject. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subject. That means you must do the responsibility of a ruler. Unnecessary killing, unnecessary taking the tax is not nice. Indirectly he told, convey this thing to the people. Oppression means to show cruelty. Now children, British were very cruel, very cruel. Not only they have taking the money in the form of taxes, divide and rule policy, they have conquered all our Indian territory, but at the same time they were very cruel. Okay, but the British continue to oppress Indian. That means in a very cruel manner they started treating with the Indian people. In 1818 they had passed regulation 3. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. Children, there was a rule that Indian cannot send, and nobody cannot be sent to jail directly. All the judicial procedure should be there. The work which he has done against the law should be proved. His mistake should be proved. Then only he should be sent to jail. But then an regulation passed. That means without sending that person to a court, he could be directly taken to the jail. That means children, it means if the order, good or bad, was not followed by the Indian, they were putting him in the jail and they used to kill them. All the British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortune in private business. Now children, they were not only having a nice salaries, okay, and we Indians, we were persuaded to give them a heavy amount of taxes, so they were having a nice salary. And not only that, they had made fortune. That means they had made lot of money due to private business, and due to some of their policy of India has completely spoiled. Here our artisan and businessmen, they were starving, they were dying. So see how clever and how bad they were. By 1829, Britain was exporting British good worth 7 crore rupees to India. Now children, not only that, they force Indian people to buy their good. If they will not buy their good, okay, they were forced to go into the jail. So by 1829, Britain was exporting British good worth 7 crore rupees to India. How much money, see? And all the Indians were forced to take their goods. Okay. So such was the situation of our country. Governor General Bentinck reported back home. Now children, Governor General Bentinck, Lord Bentinck, he was appointed as Governor General and he was called back home. The bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. Now children, he did not like that the cotton weavers. India was a good exporter of cotton. Okay, the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. Now he is telling that their bones are bleaching the plain of India. The British prospected on the company. Indian industries begin to die, and especially children, this was the much influence was there with the cotton weavers. They were really starving. So bleaching means here children losing color. Bleaching means losing color. That means they started losing color. They started dying due to starvation. Now children, day by day the situation got worse. They have become very, very cruel. They started putting the people of India into jail unnecessary. They used to loot their thing. Okay, if they were not able to pay the debts, they used to take their crops, they used to take their house, or they used to burn their house. So all these things were having in our society. Nobody was satisfied. In fact, they were taking the advantage of being the ruler. Raja Ram Mohan went also, he requested them, but nobody listened. Instead, the situation got worse day by day. Okay, now children, they have spoiled our trade, they have spoiled our business. Now just see what they want to spoil. They want to spoil the education system of India. They do not want that Indians should should be flourish, and they should get good job. So they had made a policy to spoil our education system also. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. Now children, at that time the language which was taught, the medium of instruction, that means the language through which education was given to the people, was either in Persian or in Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. Now children, see how clever they were. They really wanted to spoil our education system. So what they have done, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. He told, we should teach the native though the English language. He told we should teach the natives through the English language. I agree. He told ki we will not let them allow to speak either Persian or Sanskrit. This thing should be stopped. The medium of instruction, the medium of teaching, or the medium of instruction should be English only. And the second fellow, you can see, is telling, yes, I agree. Then English education produce jobs under them. Now children, those who were having the knowledge of English, they did not give them the higher post, but they got the job of the clerk. And see how cowards were Indian. They accepted it also. They started doing the job of clerk under their rule. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectual. We must educate our brothers and try to improve their material condition. For that, we must convey our grievance to the British Parliament. Now he's telling कि until many people they were stopped from getting the education. They were deprived from getting education. So they are telling we must educate. Now some of the children they did not even get a chance to get education. So he's telling we must educate our brothers and try to improve their material condition. For that we must convey our grievances to the British government. So this was a decision taken by the people. And children, with this I end my video. Share tomorrow the other part, the remaining part will be explained. So thank you and have a nice day.